lethargy, striving to be godly. With an intelligence quotient exceeding numerology. Scholar body honorary, school of prophet alum. Anthropomorphized lessons so I could become the heartbeat of righteousness. The everyday fight to pump the blood of kings, breathe the breath of life, moving up like Confederates in Yankee territories in the 17th century. But it's a thin line between divinity and iniquity. Mason Dixon hitting incompletion decisions. Division between symptoms of a phenom and a psychopath, gifted and asinine. I won't erase that vertical line on an incline that divides them. Climbing out this box in my mind, it's like having altitude sickness on alpine expedition. Genius vision never fixed in on the depth below. Focus on elevation where others never dare to go. And brainiacs ain't contained in that receptacle. Incredible creative energy becomes perceptible. The cerebral can be an evil alter ego, a true pal, and you shall become legendary and futile. Development of a god. I sleep between dates on the calendar. Can't escape a date with a challenger. Now that's a blind date in the field division, but my other senses reveal I'm winning. Yeah. The thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you after? Thin line, mind of a god, mind of a captive. Which one of you after? Thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you after? Thin line, mind of a god, mind of a captive. Which one of you after? The first victories are internal, then external. The inner fight. Sheltered by tissue and epidermal, fighting for the Holy Spirit to manifest through physics, working to boost this performance through physical fitness. Sees the drive towards greatness within. Mediocrity begins the extinction of potential in men. Time becomes fossilized, energies occupied, trying to survive with a 9 to 5 or a 5 to 5 for overtime, under time management by the bandit, energizing his expansion like fossil fuel for the think tank, driven by your nemesis in the duel for your medulla to influence your lineages. I think out the box like addiction to prescriptions and limitless without the NZT dependencies. High percentage of brain power's already hitting in, and ordinary men can't activate it within the bin. I be demented if I can't live this. Tormentors accepting that Negro existence. I'm a regenerative scholar. No blue collars on my wardrobe, fighting to be an immortal martyr. They never pass us away, fulfilling the dream of Donny Hathaway, of being free today. And if it be's Yah's will, manifestations are made on the planet where we stay, putting truth on display all day. Thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you after? Thin line, mind of a god, mind of a captive. Which one of you after?
Oh, there you go.
Mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you after?
Thin line. Yes. Welcome to the green side of things, Brother Sadeek.
Hey, Cassiopeia.
And we are here for the sustainable, the cultural, and the natural.
All right now. Coming up a little.
I'm so excited
focus
today,
on the-
Cassie. I'm trying to maintain my.
You
know
pumped
what?
up?
I'm pumped up. You know why?
Why?
Because this is the show that I would be like if I wasn't hosting the show. I'm definitely. I'm tuning in. So I'm trying to split the energy between being a host and a viewer.
I got you. Well, while you get all that energy, let's make sure everybody else out there has the energy and make sure that they do what?
We need them to like,
Comment,
and share
that thing.
right now. Invite some people in. Come on, y'all. It's the green side. We need you
Yeah.
to sit at the lunch table, the
Yes.
virtual lunch table with me and Cassiopeia. We got a great show for you today.
I feel like we're talking about, we say sit at the virtual lunch table.
Right.
That means that we need to always have lunch at our table.
So where would we get it from, Cassie?
So vegan.
Huh? Who?
So vegan.
Didn't they give you some food?
Well, listen. Listen.
What happened?
We talking about them all the time. That means I should always have food.
Should always kind of have lunch. What you think, Ron?
Just sponsor the green side.
Come on.
Yeah,
baby.
there we go. That's what. Hey,
on,
you know
baby.
what? And we working on that. They
For
are.
verses, you always see the Ciroc. And now, who was it? It was the chips. It was some chips that got in on it. Or it was something cheesy. something Doritos.
Yeah.
Or
No
something
good
like
for
that.
you.
Right.
No.
They got
cheetah.
we want the jalapeno cheese to be. I need that right
The
there.
jalapeno cheese. What's
Sitting
up,
on my
Shaka?
desk all the time.
Brother Shaka's out there. We got
Grab your
a
lunch.
few
We
more
need to
people
have
up.
our
Tiger, what's happening?
Now we gonna save ours because we don't want to mess up none of the technical stuff here. But you know what I'm saying. I needed to have it ready and showcase what I'm gonna be eating right after we get off air.
Hey, and shout out, Ron is in the February
Woo,
meatless
Ryan
group.
Jordan!
So about that,
Uh-oh.
I've been substituting chicken for fish. I heard it's not meat.
It's no.
You play all day.
No. He's laughing, you all.
Oh man, I'm serious.
No.
I've been eating fish.
Ryan, no.
They
We'll
tell
see
me
you
it's,
after.
it's
No.
poultry.
Who is that?
Whose group? What
said-
group
who
did
is
you sign
that?
up for? You signed up for the plant-based African group?
I signed up for y'all.
Okay, well then, okay, it's not. So
Who
let's have a
told you that?
conversation. Scratch
That's
anything
what I
Ron
wanna know.
says.
Who told you that?
People
it's-
say that,
I've been hearing
Cassie.
that for years.
I
People
know,
say that.
But I see. This is how we cure this.
Okay.
Who?
See, I've been hearing it for years. So it's
From
a lot of
the media.
even vegetarian.
For who? Name the vegetarian and told it to.
I don't want to see. I don't want to put nobody on blast.
Yeah, you don't put him on blast.
I bet you that tune has changed. Go back to said vegetarian.
So no fish.
No.
Fish is it's meat. It's
It's
flesh.
an animal.
If it bleeds,
It swims, it lives.
It comes
it's-
from the meat.
The answer is no.
yes. When you get that fish,
So Ron
you
is on the
chop it
start
off,
over.
It's red. It pour out.
So I got to start over, y'all.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Today. That's okay. It's all right. It's a
You
learning
ain't gotta
process.
start over. You just gotta. Now you know. So today is a different day for Black History Month.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Black
saying? Black
History
History
Month.
Month meatless.
Meatless.
With the plant-based African, come join it. It's okay. We're not. That's why I was great about this place. You don't have to. Ain't nobody gonna jump down your throat. It's not gonna be that type of space. It's a space where like, hey, we make mistakes. We follow. We just get our asses back up.
And we meet you where you are.
That's it.
So we right here with you at the fish pond.
That's crazy because I went and replaced all of my freezer food with like I went and replaced the chicken nuggets with
Okay.
fish sticks
No.
and cod.
No.
Now I got to get rid of all the
Yes.
shrimp.
Yeah.
I would donate it.
Yeah.
I would donate it. What I'm not is I don't. Well, for me, this is me. This is not speaking as a plant-based African. Cassiopeia doesn't believe in just wasting either. So
Yeah,
you
I
know.
don't either. Donate it. Give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just you can't consume it. So Cassiopeia, shout out to Soul Vegan. Let me do this.
Yes.
And I want to really give a shout out to the platform, to What's in It for the Black People Media.
Yes.
The entire station / network, they do an awesome job. But in particular, have you heard Herb Howard introduce I Said What I Said? Like his first 60 seconds?
His intro. Yes.
Like, I got to up my game. Like,
It's
I was
good
watching
placement.
him. I was like, man, I got to study this guy. You know what I mean?
And you got to write it down and then do it the same
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I don't want to do it the same way. But I'm just saying, I
But
want to
that's
give
what
him.
make it cold.
I know. I want to give him a shot.
'Cause
Nobody
he
does it like him. I mean, he
spit it
just,
off.
yeah, he
Got
rattles it
down
off.
pat.
Yeah, he got it down pat, right? And just to the morning show, we got Maze. You got Dawn following that. You got Tennille that we come after.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a action-packed lineup, and we are just, we feel great about being here.
Absolutely. This place is beautiful. You got a lot of people. Everybody networking. We doing things together. We building with each other.
I love it. So
That's
what's
what it's
happening with the
about.
Black Mall?
Man, the Black Mall. Y'all, we almost there with this program that I just can't wait to announce to you guys, and how we're going to be supporting a certain neighborhood and recycling the dollar and showcasing these particular businesses. We just waiting for that last little pen to ink to happen and seal the deal so we can then just tell the world on what we've been working on. And then also, of course, we got our new website and our new platform. So it's an e-marketplace. It's a directory. There's vlogs on there. So definitely go to theblackmall.com. And then, of course, what are you going to find on there?
The plant-based Africa? Holla at your boy.
Holla at your boy. Get your plant-based African sweatshirts, T-shirts on there. There's other great Black History Month tees and shirts that you can find on there, and apparel and accessories, and your Black-owned necessities like True Laundry
Great stuff.
detergent.
Can we get the buy black? Can I buy that shirt?
You know what? It will be up today.
Let's get it up
I'm
today.
putting it
I
back
love
up
that
today.
shirt. I love
Everybody
that
loves
shirt.
the shirt. I'm putting it back.
Don't take it
up
down
today.
anymore.
I will not.
We want to
take it
buy
down
black
again.
365.
Before this show is over, it'll be back up on the
That's what I'm
site,
talking
and
about.
that's what it's about. You know, us recycling our dollar and staying in tune. So definitely get on there, man. Check out theblackmall.com and go get
You got to
some
do
plant-based
it.
African.
We see you out there. We see you, Prakeet. With Prakeet, we've got somebody in the audience. She makes clothes. She need to be on the Black Mall. We need
Come
to holler
on,
at that.
yes, Prakeet.
Yes.
Prakeet, come on,
Prakeet
get
is
your
out
stuff
there.
on there, boo.
Yeah, we got T. Renee out there. Sister Hampton is out there. Shout out to Soul Vegan.
Yes.
They're in the audience. Come on in, guys. Shaka Strong. Let me say this. And then, so today, the theme is plant-based.
Yeah.
Y'all know I'm excited. So I hope the numbers. Bring some people in the room, right? Plant-based be scaring black people. They scared.
They
So,
are.
me.
yeah, right, exactly. But you joined the group, though.
You
So, my man.
did.
But shout out to my
The only way
man.
to get over your fear is to face it.
We had a brother, you all know him. He is a what's in it for the black people, like, enthusiast, regular. And he saw us, and he joined the January jump off. And prior to that,
He did.
he had some eye issues. I'm not going to tell his whole piece. He can tell it.
When you say it like that, I'm thinking like
No, just pressure behind his.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because he also, and he's open about it, diabetes, the whole nine. Like,
I think
he's not the only one.
I think of when you say like eye issues,
Mm-hmm.
I think of what's the actor's name? Big time black actor.
I don't. With eye issues?
Yes.
Okay, well.
He played was it Hotel Rwanda? Come on now, big guy. Come on.
Oh, you talking about Forrest Whitaker?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not those type of eye issues. Forrest, if you watch, we love you, Forrest.
We do.
We do.
So when you
We
say
just
that,
don't know what type of.
black people play too much. So you say stuff like that. That's
We do play too much, and the internet is undefeated. Undefeated. You can't be sensitive about nothing on the internet.
And they'll make you
anything.
humble yourself, get over yourself, all of that.
We'll poke fun at you like all the time.
Bernie Sanders was like, "Hey, that's fine. Y'all can tease me all you want, so I'm gonna make money off of this.
Yeah,
Tease myself."
So Shaka,
Yeah,
because I forgot, Shaka did January. He did it meatless, vegan, plant-based. Choose your label.
Mm-hmm.
And went to the eye doctor. He called me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the eye doctor and is off of the surgery list because the pressure in his eyes went backwards, went down.
Wow.
Huge change.
Wow, that's a big testimony. Come on now, Ron.
Shout out to Ron.
Ron, does that help with like kind of you removing the fish?
I love that. We got, super producer in the house. That's how we build you up here. Because at 3 o'clock, you know what's going to happen,
what
right?
time it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So during the green side, this is the build up. You know what I mean? Because as soon as Two and Herd walk in here, you know how that goes. No doubt. So shout out to Shaka, who's doing a phenomenal job. He talks about being a type 1 diabetic and for 30-some years since he was a teenager, and now moving into a different mental space and health space relative to what he puts in his body and relative to his health outcomes. So I'm just shout out to Shaka.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
no doubt. Absolutely. And so today I am so excited about this show. You guys, so please, we need you to like, we need you to comment, we need you to share.
That thing.
Share it right now. Invite some more people in here and invite them to the network.
Yeah.
And the reason that we talk about the other shows is because there's something for everybody. And I really appreciate, like, if you go through, we just got through with parenting in a pandemic.
Yes.
We've got the political pieces. We've got the social economic. I mean, it's so diverse, but all aimed at melanated individuals.
Come on.
And that's what I love. What's in it for the black people media? Shout out to Maze Jackson.
Raise us back up to our rightful place.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Our rightful place. People of the sun.
Come on.
People of the sun. So we've got our
Shine bright like a diamond.
Our Black History Month interesting fact. You ready?
Oh,
read
yes.
for us today?
Okay.
Our Black History Month interesting fact.
The Black History Month interesting fact. Ancient Egyptians had vegetarian diets, mummy study shows. Did the ancient Egyptians eat like us? If you're a vegetarian, tucking along the Nile thousands of years ago would have felt just like home. Okay, I'm going to reread that because the way that I read it was just wrong. If you're a vegetarian, tucking in along the Nile thousands of years ago would have felt just like home. In fact, eating lots of meat is a recent phenomenon. In ancient cultures, vegetarianism was much more common. Most populations ate fruit and vegetables.
Now this is coded as well because it's a history fact, but it's coded because when they talk about vegetarianism, they actually mean veganism because the word vegan was invented in the 1940s. But go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you about that afterwards. Although previous sources found the ancient Egyptians to be pretty much vegetarians, until this new research, it wasn't possible to find out the relative amounts of the different foods they ate. Hair absorbs a higher rate of animal proteins than bone or teeth, and the isotope ratios in hair of the mummies corresponded to that found in hair of modern vegetarians, confirming that the ancient Egyptians were also mainly vegetarians. As is the case with many modern people, their diet was wheat and barley based.
So just it's Black History Month, and we've had some modern Black history pieces, but wanted to pull a piece from Africa because a lot of times we transpose modern culture and imagine the ancient cultures like that, but specifically in Africa, in places where fruits, vegetables, where it's just plentiful, there was no need to have a widespread culture of eating meat. When I teach or when I have workshops and I'm talking to people, I said, imagine you sitting next to avocados, papaya, mangoes, watermelons, all kind of peas and greens, and you're hungry. What's the first thing you're going to do? Eat what is sitting around you. You don't have to chase, or an antelope.
I mean, you're definitely gonna grab. Now, I do like to ask because it is saying that mostly, and from what I understand, there was an amount of meat that they ate. It wasn't the majority of it for several reasons. A, because I can just eat this fruit right here. I can eat this avocado. I can graze, whatever. I can just grab from this. But there were times that that they did eat meat. It took a long time because it takes days for crews to go out, hunt, sit, watch, lock down, capture, bring it back. Now they got to then tear it apart, deconstruct it, blah, 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 heat it up. Now we can eat, and that's it. That's going to be it for a long time. Maybe another week, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month before they would get, eat meat again. So is it the fact that they were completely absent with meat? And I'm not saying this. I definitely think, a vegan, vegetarian lifestyle is definitely better for you. I just am not a I don't want to romanticize things neither. Well, That's it.
Yeah. And I don't think, and so they say, and I'm not denying the fact that I think is, as you said, I think it's situational. I just think that we have to balance it with the fact. So the whole needing to go out because you're right about that's an excellent scenario, but that's more of a European land-based foraging for vegetables and fruits is absent. So we got to go on the trek to get the animal, take the weeks to get the food, to do this and to do that. It's not cultural. It's more cultural for them than it was for us. And so the cultural identity with going to forage, get the meat, kill the meat, bring the meat back, wait for it and all of that is more of a colonial imposition than it is naturally how we are. But was there fishing? Were there certain times, and there even maybe some ritualistic times when meat was eaten, but it was not the majority.
No, it's not the majority.
It was not the majority of the diet. And so most people... Just adding balance to the conversation because, Ron, would you have thought that the Egyptians would have been mostly vegetarian?
I I could believe it.
You could believe it, but prior to hearing this, would you have thought
Was it a thought?
Was it a
wasn't
thought?
No,
Yeah, I don't
didn't
think
even
anybody's
of it
thinking
that
about
way.
it.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So we have to bring some balance to the conversation, and so that's why I bring.
I
it
don't
up.
know. I don't know if I agree that foraging for it is a colonized thing. I think the increased foraging for probably meat might be a more imposition of colonization, but I don't think that they brought in the whole idea of even just foraging for meat. Period.
Well, I'm not.
They always had the tools needed to do that before. The African that lost his melanin and then came back is something a little different.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think there was something else I wanted to kind of bring forth too, but I forgot. It'll come back.
It's okay. You sure it'll come back?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Gotta let it go. Gotta learn to let go.
I love it. So shout out to everybody. Just trying to bring balance to the conversation and, let you know that in our history, vegetarian and veganism is a part of our cultural heritage.
Yeah.
Right? So eating beans, and when you talk about...
that's what it is. Now going to the veganism, how do we know that it was that they were vegans per se? I mean, was it because just in history, cheese hadn't come to pass at that particular point, and they did not drink any milk other than the mother.
Definitely didn't drink other than right. They didn't drink other mammals' milk. So
they didn't eat eggs.
They did right. So there were.
Or do we know that? Do we know they didn't eat eggs?
Well, let me put it this way: it doesn't get touted that there are vegan sections in our culture. Period. Right? Because we don't even talk about veganism in this culture, let alone transpose it to ancient cultures. If you get what I'm saying. And there were and are still segments where of the population on the earth where people don't eat animal products. And we assume because we are an animal product eating society, that's just the way things are.
So I guess we've had to come up with these different departments, right? Or boxes because of the overuse and greed of Western culture. So is it that they don't?
I like the way you put that.
So is it they don't consume animal products, or it's just not necessarily like gotta have eggs and I gotta have, not that they've never done it. It's just that it's not necessarily a huge portion of the.
Well, see, I'm not saying they never did it.
Traditional diet.
Yeah, not a huge portion of the traditional diet.
Because I wouldn't name these people vegetarians, vegans. I wouldn't name them meat eaters per se either. I wouldn't.
Let's
name
just
them
say
any
there are
of that.
cultures where they didn't consume animal products. Period. Whatever you want to call it. Yeah. That existed.
I'd like to know
that
more
existed.
about
There are
them.
people, for instance, I'm a black man right now that doesn't consume animal products, and there were black men and women thousands of years ago that didn't consume animal products.
Intentionally, like I'm not going to touch an egg.
It was
I'm not
their
gonna
culture,
touch,
and I don't
I'm
want to
not gonna
even
touch any
like
flesh.
you can find it in ancient texts. Yes. So the answer is yes. Okay. Intentionally, just like right now, because we've always been on our thing intentionally, right? So if it exists, there's nothing new under the sun. And so if it exists now, like relatively those thoughts, us being in tune with the earth,
now you know I'm a
us
screw
being
with
doing
you.
all of that.
He be setting me up to screw with him sometimes.
I mean, I just want to make sure
that computer existed on the earth back then.
Oh, here we go. And on that note,
hey, I want to give a real quick shout out.
Do some shout outs.
To my cousin Twanny that's out here. Shout out to Vernon that's on here. Tiger Lily in the building. T Renee. We see y'all. Shirley, we are okay. Maganiel.
She does it every week.
Golly, Maganiel.
And he's from New York. He's our East Coast eyes and ears out
I
there.
appreciate y'all. Listen, I see 9 shares and I see 13 watches right now. I need to see 13 shares at least.
Oh, we need more than that. We need because look,
only the people who watching can share.
Oh, right. Okay.
So at the moment, I need to see at least 4 more shares, and as we get more people in here, I need those then to go up, and then I need to see at least 13 likes too. What's happening?
So guys, listen, we're getting ready. Before we go to the break, we are bringing on a sister that I consider to be a hero in the new food movement, and she is the producer and director, along with a cadre of others, of The Invisible Vegan. And it is, to my knowledge, and there are other pieces out there, but she cut one of the only cultural centric documentaries that deal, because there are all types of vegan documentaries out there, right? But cultural centric, Black people influenced and made, and she's the theme through the documentary.
Yeah.
And awesome. And so we're gonna have Jasmine Leva. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sure we're gonna find out. She can correct me when she comes on. And she is like super relatable, like super I think she's just on her game. If you watch, you got to watch the documentary first of all.
Awesome. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime or Prime Video.
Prime Video, and I think there's another couple of
places.
Yeah, that you can catch it. But
I gotta see if she got it on Quayle TV as well.
You gotta check out this documentary because she's super relatable. Is on her game. Knows what she's talking about. She said, she told me, don't read a long introduction or my bio. Let's get to the work. That's how, cause she dope. She's super dope. So look, guys, we need you to like,
comment,
and share
that thing.
And when we come back, we're going to talk to the producer and director of The Invisible Vegan and get into some. She brings up some fairly controversial issues in the documentary, and I consider her a food activist.
Nice.
Jasmine Leva. Hope I'm saying that right.
WIIFTVPM. Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
So this kind of music, we feed off of your vibe. So if you're feeling the music, we're going to feed off you guys, okay? All right? Yeah, you can start dancing. So please enjoy, all right?
Oye a mi pueblo y mi familia Guayama.
Welcome back to the green side of things. I'm your man, Sadeek.
And I'm Cassiopeia.
And we are so happy to have you with us today. We need you to like,
comment,
and share
that thing
right now.
Come on.
Because we are going to dig into this conversation. Okay, she says she can't hear.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait. Okay. Can you
Can you hear us now?
Jasmine? Uh-oh. Hello?
Can you hear us now? Jasmine?
Oh, I think we can hear you.
She might have to. It might be in her settings.
Jasmine, can you hear us?
Okay, so while they're talking through,
Yeah.
right? We have Jasmine Leva with us, and I'm gonna make this short, okay? Because she said make it short. But she is a filmmaker, actress, and this sister is just plain dope. She's based in Los Angeles. She's got she's got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, probably working on her PhD right now in fine arts, TV, and film. She's a screenwriter. She's worked on Unsung. All y'all have seen Unsung. If you yeah. So and she's just got a list of. She's awesome. And she said keep it short, so I'm gonna keep it short. Jasmine, can you hear us?
Yeah.
She can't hear us, y'all. What do we need to do, Ron? Come on, let's
she might
get
have to
it.
come back, go out and come back in. Cause I see, she's pushing out and she can't hear us.
We can hear her.
Yeah, we could definitely hear her.
On her
Can you
value
give us
side.
any indication, Jasmine? I don't even know if she sees us. She
Can
can't
you
even
see us or hear us? She's trying to fix it.
She says she can't hear. Go out, text her or something. Go out and come back in.
Yeah, I wish I could text her. This ain't one of those.
Oh, this was in the email or
Yeah,
it was,
definitely.
it was.
Yeah. Okay, let me go. Let me see. Inbox. Hope she'll check her email.
Oh, can I?
Oh, she
check
says I
her?
can't hear you.
And make sure she on Google Chrome.
Okay. Let me see how to do it. Okay, Ryan. Can we? Well, you know what the audience is. Y'all hanging there with us. Y'all like, comment, and share. My natural tendency is to go to break or something, but we're not gonna do that.
Cause we could definitely hear her. She just can't hear us.
Okay, so let me reply. Jasmine, here I come. I'm replying.
Oh, good.
Can you go out and come?
All right, while he is doing that,
back
guys,
in.
put in the comments, do you think that, being vegan is a white thing?
You said use Google Chrome?
Yes.
If you
So
have it.
tell me in the comments if y'all believe that being vegan is a white thing or not. Is that something that's more of a white thing? Is it something that black people do? And Tiger Lily is saying to tell her sometimes double clicking the volume button works too.
Okay. Volume or volume?
Fist
Hey, y'all, type in the comments. Is it volume or is it volume?
face.
I'm just curious.
We pick on each other all day.
Yeah. I don't know, in the
I'm
ancient
meaner.
cultures,
I'm meaner though.
if you were Egyptian though, was it volume or volume? Because I don't think that was volume. Okay. Thank you.
First of all, it's not. First, they didn't have all.
But was it volume or volume
They
though?
didn't have all them.
What did they walk down the street and they were
They
like,
didn't
"Hey,
have all them vowels.
not turn up your volume."
Volume.
She says volume. Okay. All right, guys. I'm
Shaka
working
Sean
on it.
says, "Oh hell no, not a white thing."
It's not a white thing. Is it a white thing? This was brought up in the documentary. Hey, did any of you all get a chance to watch the doc? Has anybody seen it? Put in the comments if you've had a chance to see it. If not,
Yes.
let's put a link to the documentary in the link section.
Maganiel. I was almost there. I did the second A correctly
I
that
got
time,
you.
but
You
you
did.
cut me off. You didn't give me a chance.
My
to
bad.
finish
I'm
it.
sorry.
I didn't get a chance to prove.
I'm sorry.
Maganiel says, "Kale no." A badoom boom.
and back to you know what? This is an excellent opportunity, you all. So I'm talking to like Tiger, Shaka, everybody out there. Listen, Green Side, go get the people. What's up, Will? Go get the people and bring them in here. This is the perfect time to fill this room up. This sister is powerful, and she's got something to say, and I want you all to hear it.
Yes. Tiger Lily says, "Get off Cassie," and her Chicago accent. Thank you. Like, go park this car.
I'm born in Chicago and raised in Chicago too.
Well,
I'm just asking a question. I can't ask a question now.
Your whole plant-based African self must have went to school with white people. Is she back? Yeah, she never left.
Is she back?
Oh,
she says I hear you now. So she says she's cool.
All right. You can hear us?
Yes.
Oh! Jasmine, we are so happy to have you. Huh?
Ask her what it was so we can know.
Oh, we'll ask her after. We'll just take type in the email what the problem was, so we won't have to like take away any more time on tech issues.
Sadeek can't handle that type of stuff. He got some fixed attributes in his chart.
So where are they when they type "get off Sadeek"? Who's typing that?
No one's typing.
So Jasmine, first of all, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you for agreeing to come on with us. I got to say off top, I've been plant-based for 20 years and have watched tons and tons of documentaries, shown them to family and friends. And then when The Invisible Vegan came out, I was like, thank God, finally somebody is.
That was a humble brag. Keep going though. Yes.
Thank God somebody is telling the story from our point of view. So I just want to say thank you for taking time out. You are important to what it is we do. And just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to this point.
Okay, so I am, first, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm glad you enjoyed the film. The fact that it took this long for us to get a film kind of for us, by us, that's a whole nother thing. But I have a background in film and TV. Like I went to school for film and TV. I grew up doing plays and stuff. That's always been my element. And then when I went vegan, I would tell all my Black friends about it. They were all like not trying to hear it. So then when I started looking at all the vegan documentaries that I thought were incredible, I noticed, I was like, wow, as great as these are, as a collective, where we at? Except for being tokenized or being shown as like, oh, look, here's this victim that needs to be shown how to eat. Instead of like, look at all these important contributors to the plant-based movement. So I felt like that was the void that needed to be filled, and I filled it.
That is so awesome. So, man, you walk through like a myriad of issues and topics in the documentary, and it's done very well. And I consider it to be groundbreaking, especially for African Americans, because it's got everything from real conversations with real everyday Black people, probably that I would hang out with, right, down to like dropping all these scientific jewels and facts relative to diet and health, which our community has huge health disparities, and even you get into the historical and the cultural. So let's start there. You talk about you have Dr. Mills on. He talks about traditional West African diets. You talk a little bit about civil rights leaders and people who are or have been not necessarily known for their veganism or vegetarianism. So could you talk a little bit about that?
So common theme in Black history, our history is always linked to slavery, like slavery is our narrative. So of course, whatever we ate during the slave period, like, we turned scraps into soul food. Like that was our narrative during slavery. So that's the only narrative that they want to teach. They don't want to tell us that like, no, look, your culture was doing uplifting things in the food space. So I thought it was really important to kind of share that with the community, because that's something that we forget. We just embrace slave culture, but we got to move beyond and say like, look, there are all these other facets to us.
I love it. I love it. And you bring up some really important people. Coretta Scott King, her son Dexter King. You talk about Angela Davis, Rosa Parks, not necessarily being vegan, but being a vegetarian. And then the man himself, Dick Gregory, who was influenced, right, by a sister who started, who was a naturopath, Dr. Alvenia Fulton, in Chicago, right, in the 1950s.
You know, Chicago is just that place. Black revolutionary thought and lifestyle is big out of here. But
yeah, so yeah, I mean, just drop some of that. So we're inside of Black History Month, so I want to accent that because you do a great job of leading into the discussion with just talking about history and African American diets, and then the influence that we've had for, for literally centuries, right? If you go to the West African diet, if you talk about Chicago in the 50s, it's just incredible. But I got a question for you. So, because you got my man, Said the Entertainer is in I love Said.
That was like a what?
Like, I see Said and start laughing. So I got a question. He talks about it, but is Said a vegan, a vegetarian? He never really, declares one way or the other.
Or is he like me, vegan-ish?
But he's extremely aware of the health issues, and I think does a great job of presenting it. But what's the background on Said?
So the background on Said is he is vegan-ish. Okay. And, some people had a problem with that. They felt like, why is he in there? He's not 100% vegan, because he did share that if he goes somewhere and he doesn't have accessible vegan options, then he'll just eat what's there. And my thing is this, I'm not doing any kind of Bloods, Crips deal with meat eaters, vegans. Like, I'm like, yo, if he is on his journey, then, I was on my journey once upon a time. So I respect that. Furthermore, his voice, whether he's vegan or not, is going to help the plant-based movement. A lot of people are going to pay attention just because of the Cedric the Entertainer was in the film. So it kind of bothered me that people kind of criticized him, and it's just like, he helping your movement.
But you know what, though? You're going to be able to touch so many more people and get people on a journey towards a healthy lifestyle in general because of that. And I think that's great, because sometimes I think that once Black people get woke, whether if it's in consciousness, if it's in lifestyle, if it's in environment, if it's just in education, we can sometimes tend to become snobs and then end up rejecting our own people and forgetting that, like you stated, we were all on our own journey, right? And at one point, I wasn't there, and I actually became. I'm black. I'm bi black all day, clearly. And when I first heard this journey, I almost was one of those little snobs, and it took one of my best friends to knock me back down and said, this is why people don't listen, because no one wants to be beat down when you're trying to uplift.
Right, no doubt.
So I love the fact to see someone going through his journey towards having a better lifestyle, and that veganism is a part of that. Whether it's 100%, 10%, 50%, it's great that it's a part.
Well, I love seeing Said in there, period. And I used to call it the vegan high horse. So I just shout out, you having them in there. And I think it's, again, one of those great connection points for people, period.
Yeah.
Vegan or not, but just him discussing the issue. So I loved in the documentary where you talked about having your black card pulled, right? So and these hard ideas, because you bring up some, even though it goes through it, like you could do a whole documentary on this herd mentality piece, right? This, if you're black, you're a Democrat. If you're black, you're a Christian. Like, if you're black, you eat soul food, and you just do you accent it, draw it out, and then kind of move on. But talk a little bit about this, having your black card pulled, and what your, how you dealt with that.
Yes. So the thing, one of the reasons why I call my film The Invisible Vegan is because I was reading The Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. And in the introduction, he says, when you're a black person in an all white space, he feels invisible. But he said he also feels invisible when he's in all black spaces and he defies certain stereotypes. And that's exactly how I felt as a Black vegan, and even a lot of the other choices in my life. You know, like even, you know, if you want to listen to something other than hip hop, it's like, oh, what you putting on this Def Leppard? Come on now, like it's almost like you get jokingly, but you get kind of alienated if you want to do something different than what's prescribed for Black people to do.
Yeah, no doubt. Like that's real.
I love it. I love it. So in the documentary, I love the piece, right? Because it seems like, right, you're going through this journey with, I don't know if it seems like that's your family or close friends, and you're getting them to try vegan foods, and you're having these conversations. I loved that part, especially kind of speaks to me because it just reminded me of myself on my own health journey, and then all of the pushback, even with, I have a blended family, and when I'm cooking like a vegan meal, and it's just like, what is that? But when it boils down to a lot of it, it's just, you eat greens.
Right.
You can, right? That's already something that's all it is a plant. So, but right, when we put these names to it, some people put up an automatic defense. So kind of what made you brave enough to put them inside the documentary and show that part of the process?
Mm-hmm.
Because, with my vegan journey, I've always come at people in my life with love. Like even, we approach health conversations. I never approach it from like putting people down. I even check to see if you're in the spirit where you even want to hear what I have to say. I have a deep respect for people in that way. So I felt comfortable putting my friends in it because I knew that even though, they had kind of rejected it to begin with, that once I brought food, they were going to be open. They were going to be like, all right, we'll get a food a shot.
Right.
And they liked it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. As a matter of fact, it makes me laugh. There's a part there in the documentary where I think you and John Sally kind of acknowledged that, vegan foods a while ago, or even when you first tried some things, you were like, dude, it tastes like cardboard. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like it didn't come off right the first time, but, you stay at it. And that resonates with me because you do have people out there like they are putting the entire weight of the vegan world on their first bite of whatever it is they have. Listen. And if it does not like register with their palate, they're like, oh, this, like, it's like, get this away from me. It's horrible.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Every vegan thing ever, except for this apple. So I love the fact that you keep it. And that's the part I was talking about, having your friends in there, like show family, because it is it's a piece where people can relate to that because that's really part of that environment. The people around you and how they associate with you can have a big part to do with how you see food.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. So Dr. Mills is a big part of, you got him to participate and he's just huge. So, just shout out to Dr. Mills. What was that like talking to him and having him just drop? Because he dropped some heavy stuff in there, right? There's some light moments, laughing. We're trying different foods, but Dr. Mills gets busy, like with the plant-based info. What was it like having him in there?
Oh, Dr. Mills is such a wealth of knowledge. I think the hardest part about his interview was cutting so much out because I'll talk to my subjects for an hour, but then I'm only using about maybe 5 to 7 minutes of what they're saying. So for him, he was just going on, and he was so knowledgeable about everything. So having to cut out like 40 minutes of what he was saying broke my heart.
Man, it's I know it had to, because in the 5 to 7 minutes, he uses terms like the industrial medical complex.
Right.
He talks about Western medicine operating from the disease model, and these are some terms that we're not used to hearing in the African-American community because I know I grew up in the era, and, I'm about 2 or 3 years older than Cassie, but I grew up in an era where
2 or 3.
you just accepted what the doctor said. You know, you just, you know, you went along with that. And so this concept of the medical industry is not necessarily about health is a relatively new thing. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree. And I give Dr. Mills so much props because he did his interview in the hospital. So he's at his job publicly talking slick about his job to be immortalized in a film. You know, like that right there is bravery in itself. And we need more people like him doing the same thing. And even me sometimes, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, does he still work there, or do you know?
Yeah, he still has a job.
Yeah, they haven't kicked him out yet, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So you and John in the documentary talk about, you know, John Sally, which I want to get to later because I love John Sally too. And he's got a line of vegan wine, so that's crazy. I find that really like, yeah, we gotta get John on and pub that up. But he talks about eating your medicine, right? And this whole concept, as you know, the ancient concept, food is thy medicine, right? And that, you know, if you eat, you really don't have to see a doctor if you eat properly, right? All of these concepts around food. But you talk about your own health struggles when you were younger inside of the documentary. Can you share a little of that with the audience? Like, what were your struggles, and then what did you find once you moved to a vegan or a plant-based diet?
Oh, absolutely. So TMI alert. When I was young, I was very yeasty all the time. I had hemorrhoids. I had really bad acne. My digestion, I thought it was the way it was supposed to be. And then I started eating plant-based and I was like, oh my God, this is supposed to flow way more smoothly than how it's been flowing for this past 20 years. So when I started eating plant-based, which I originally did just for cosmetic reasons, like, oh, I want to lose 5 pounds and look like this chick. Once my health started clearing up, I was like, yo, what is in this food that is making me so sick? And why has no one told us about this? And why is my doctor writing me all these prescriptions for stuff and giving me creams when they went to school and they should know about my health in the human body, and they should know just to tell me like, hey, friend, straighten your diet, drink a little bit more water, get a little bit more sleep, and all of these things would clear up. My doctor should have told me that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you actually bring out the fact in the documentary that doctors get 4 hours or fewer of nutrition training in their entire medical education. Right. And so that's brought out. Dr. Milton talks about that. I think somebody else brings it out in the documentary that doctors aren't really trained to know nutritionally what's happening in your body. And that's why the Western health model is seen as a disease model, because really what happens in the healthcare industry is they really just maintain your disease. Right. And so what happened on the other side of that? You changed your diet. You had all of these issues. What happened?
And then everything started clearing up. You know, I started to heal. I started to feel better. And even, you know, there was an era where I went to the doctor and they said I had cancerous cells and I would have to have a small procedure. I did a fast for a few weeks, cleaned up my diet, went back to the doctor. They're like, oh, all the cancerous cells are gone.
Wow.
And it's like, but you told me I would have to burn off a part of my organ. Right. Tell me this fast. And I don't want to, you know, if your doctor tells you have cancer, like, I don't want you to say, well, Jasmine fast, let me do it. Definitely. I don't want to give that advice, but that is what worked for me.
And it showcases that there are options out there. There isn't just one solution. So that's very important.
Yeah, so let's give the disclaimer for the whole show.
Right.
We are not giving any medical advice.
Right.
You must check with your physician, because I'm a certified nutritionist.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And I love that. So I'm not just a vegan health enthusiast. I'm also a healthcare professional. And we want you to check with your doctor, but we also want you to know that there are, like Cassie said, and like Jasmine has said, there are other options, right?
Yeah.
And so you can research some things, but do it in concert with your medical doctor. And your medical doctor doesn't always have to lead.
Right.
Like, you can do things in partnership,
Yeah.
and you can read and you can take the lead because you're responsible for your health, not the healthcare system.
And know that you have the power to choose your doctor.
Absolutely.
You know, so I think it's really good to, have a doctor that's willing to hear you. If just anything, just to hear me.
I love that.
You know? Yeah.
So let's do this. We're gonna move into the break here. Brother Haru asked a question. He said, "What wine is not vegan?" You can Google it. There are many wines that are not vegan because they use animal products in the straining and bodying process. Everything from yolk albumin to charred animal bones for flavor. So, yeah, there are many wines that are not vegan, but you can DM me. I have the list personally for the ones that are, only for my friends that are wine enthusiasts. So that being said, listen, everybody. What'd you say?
I said, is Charles Shaw vegan?
I got to check. I don't remember off the top of my head.
She's like, wait a minute.
She's like, wait a minute. So it's so these are the things that we don't consider, but and that goes back to the industrial food complex is not necessarily concerned about your health either, along with the industrial medical complex. Listen, guys, you're on the green side of things with Sadeek
and Cassiopeia,
and we're talking to Jasmine. And Jasmine, was I saying your last name right?
Leyva.
We're talking to Jasmine Leyva. She is the producer, director, and star in The Invisible Vegan. We're going to get to some political issues. We're going to talk about sex, and we're going to talk about toxic masculinity when we come back. All on the other side, the green side of things with Sadeek and Cassiopeia. See you on the other side.
WIFTVPM.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like Maze said. Randy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we're about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You
attack.
gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this thing.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right. Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
About National Join a Positive Black Organization Day, because I don't want to be recruiting. I don't want to be recruiting and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
We wake up every day to these tests as we strive to be great, and they keep coming, but we gotta persevere, y'all. Yeah, thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you after? Thin line, mind of a god, mind of a captive. Which one of you after? Thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you after? Mind of a god, mind of a captive. Every minute I fight with lethargy, striving to be godly, with an intelligence quotient exceeding numerology. Scholar body honorary, school of prophet alum, anthropomorphized lessons so I could become the heartbeat of righteousness. The everyday fight to pump the blood of kings, breathe the breath of life, moving up like Confederates in Yankee territories in the 17th century. But it's a thin line between divinity and iniquity. Mason Dixon hitting in complacent decisions. Division between symptoms of a phenom and a psychopath, gifted in acid
acceptable. The cerebral can be an evil alter ego, a true pal, and you shall become legendary and futile. Development of a god. I sleep between dates on the calendar. Can't escape a date with a challenger. Now that's a blind date in the field of vision, but my other senses reveal I'm winning. Yeah. The thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you after? Thin line, mind of a god, mind of a captain. Which one of you after? Thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you after? Thin line, mind of a god, mind of a captain. Which one of you after? The first victories are internal, then external. The inner fight. Sheltered by tissue and epidermal, fighting for the Holy Spirit to manifest through physics, working to boost this performance through physical fitness. Sees the drive towards greatness within. Mediocrity begins the extinction of potential in men. Time becomes fossilized, energies occupied, trying to survive with a 9 to 5 or a 5 to 5 for overtime, under time management by the bandit. Energizing his expansion like fossil fuel for the think tank, driven by your nemesis in the duel for your medulla to influence your lineages. I think out the box like addiction to prescriptions and limitless. Without the NCT dependencies, high percentage of brain power's already hitting in, and ordinary men can't activate it within the bin. I be demented if I can't live this. Tormentors accepting that Negro existence. I'm a regenerative scholar. No blue collars on my wardrobe, fighting to be an immortal martyr. They never pass us away, fulfilling the dream of Donny Hathaway, of being free today. And if it be's Yah's will, manifestations are made on the planet where we stay.
Yeah. In line. Welcome back to the green side of things with your man Sadeek
and Cassiopeia.
And we are talking to our sister, Jasmine Leyva. And she is the director, producer, and the main personality in The Invisible Vegan. And we are chopping it up with her on a very real level. And just real quick, we love the comments. Keep dropping them in there. We need you guys to go ahead as we enter this second hour. We need you to like, comment,
and share that thing
right now. Bring some people in here into this around this virtual lunch table with us as we talk about this plant-based reality. And Dion, yes, you can submit some music that we can play on the show. It has to be. We have to be able to have the rights to it. And should be Chicago local. So absolutely, brother. Please do that for us. So Jasmine, you touch on some very real topics that I've seen a lot of vegan documentaries, right? And they go around some things, but when you get to your sexual health portion, I will say that there's some very real things that you talk about, like smells south of the border, like
come on, let's
clean.
talk about it.
So
okay.
And Cassie talked about last month.
We did the January jump off. So I've been vegan and electric and all that back and forth. I'm veganish for sure all the time, but I went vegan for all of January. And I was just talking about how after working out and eating vegan for that month, like I didn't even know that my monthly was coming. Normally my fiance would be like, "Get that edge to you."
Yeah, not just him.
Right? Shut up. and then also my cramps, are a signal. And I didn't have any of that. Matter of fact, I found out in a way, but anywho. So if y'all get it, y'all didn't get it. Y'all gotta catch that. You gotta catch it. But it's all right. I ain't gonna be too explicit.
Yeah.
So I found out in a way where you're like, whoopsies. I didn't know.
Oh boy. Hope you weren't wearing white.
And it was like, oh, okay. But then it showcased though, oh man, like I don't have any of that PMS or anything. And then of course it was even, a lighter flow too.
Yep, same here. I used to go through these California king size pads, pain, bloating, and then the game switched up.
Yeah.
Like now my periods are light, painless, smell is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
right, we try to be nice, but you know,
no, say it, talk about it. Like, no, you know what?
This wasn't it for the Black people media. They get real crazy on this platform.
Yeah, and I don't think it's being crazy. I think it's something, right, that people don't talk about in terms of diet affecting your whether you want to call it, sexual, whether you want to call it, like it has a impact on your organs, not just your heart, right, or not not just your biceps, right, but all of them. Yeah. So that would make great sense to me that it would have an effect on menstrual cycles,
all
on all of that. Yeah, everything.
Even men too. Like I didn't take it there in the documentary, but a lot of times if you're dealing with a man and say he's eating a very acidic, unhealthy diet, and then he puts whatever comes off of his body, out of his pores. If you put it in you're upsetting your own pH balance. Yeah. So even men, you're not eating healthy. And then your girl, shows up with her bacterial infections. Might not just be her, it's.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah, you just painted a whole nother picture for me.
Wow.
Wow.
Levels to this.
Good.
Yeah,
you
that's real talk.
My pH,
yeah,
boo.
my whole right. You got me. You got to get yourself on out of here with that bacteria.
Listen, because y'all don't understand. That's hell for women. Like it's hell. It's terrible. It's really terrible. And then y'all be mad when she be like, "Don't touch me tonight."
Right.
Fellas, grab some plants.
It's you. I don't know. You watched Martin. You remember you so crazy.
Wrong in the house.
No, you so crazy to stand up, and he was like, "I ain't been out the house in a week. This ain't me. This you. That's you." And she could have been like, "No, it is you. You gave this to me because you jacked up eating all that crap."
What's your problem?
Yep.
You can't call nobody. So, but you do bring up, so we talk about, okay, the bacteria, your pH is off, right? But you do slide into ED, right? And so ED, no pun intended, like ED, erectile dysfunction is a huge issue that is silent.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about it. Right. So what you bring it up a little in the documentary. Talk to us about, bro. I call it stand up and be counted.
I can't. Jasmine, go ahead.
And it's so funny. You said it's a huge issue that we don't talk about. And what's even more awkward is it's an issue that we don't even talk about when we're in the situation. Because I've been in situations with men and that comes about. And it's a thing where it's like, we just not going to communicate about this. Yeah. We're just going to move on. And so for my documentary, like I know for a fact there are men going through this. And I wanted to address real concerns with my film. And I felt like that was a real concern. And men, they seem to really, really love sex and really care about sex. So if that's something that you care about and you're unable to get it up, just to give them a alternative option.
Yeah.
Wow.
As you kind of talk about this, I don't know if you watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta or not, or maybe you've heard that Portia on there, she's vegan. And she was an episode on there where she's sitting down with all the girls because of course they're always eating meat and stuff, and then she's just like, "Wow, I'm eating," and she's like, it helps in the bedroom. It helps. It's a good quote. I think it'd be something really good for you to capture. But like, it's a really good quote in regards to how it's better. And you see all the women, they real extra dramatic and stuff like, "What? I don't know nothing about that. What is she talking about?" She was, "You gotta be vegan. I ain't got no problems in the bedroom." So I think that's a really, really dope quote.
Yeah.
And it also with smell too. Like I noticed with men who eat plant-based diets, like it's stuff like, their breath when they sweat, I don't want to, aroma shame anyone, like if your body odor is intense, but that is something to think about. If whatever you put in your body, So if you have a bunch of rotting meat and dairy in your body, like that is what, that's what's going to come out of your underarms. That's what your breath is going to smell like. So that's just something to, something to be aware of.
Jasmine, I love you. Listen, I want to be friends, girl.
Jasmine, I cannot conduct any more of this interview. You just said aroma shame.
So listen,
I'm done.
And then just said, if your body odor is intense. It was just great. I loved it. It's like kind of those, did someone stab me?
You are so politically correct. Like, you over here beating people in the head. Like, basically, bro, you stank. But you said aroma shame. I don't want to. I'm done. Like, where was that in the documentary? She said aroma shame.
I love it. No, but listen, I thought this though. When I watched the documentary and you were talking about the odors and how everything cleared up, and you got the picture of yourself holding your leg up. Gee, that made my day. I said
that's what made your day.
Yes.
Jasmine, you gotta forgive us.
You gotta sit. You're not full of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were having fun. This documentary is informative. It speaks to our culture, and it's fun. We don't because you're talking about being vegan doesn't mean I have to be stiff and stuffy and and seemingly a whole different person and I'm better than you. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, no doubt. So,
and honestly, it was an honest moment of victory for me. Like, as a woman, it can be, there are things in the bedroom where, it can be kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I think growing up, I dealt with that more. Like, now I'm grown, so I don't care. I'm like, listen, you got to get it how you live and don't complain. But, I did have some shame. So it was a good moment for me to just go in the bedroom like, I have arrived and no smell has arrived with me.
Yes.
Wow. I love it. I have arrived and no smell.
And then tell him to get to work.
Wow.
Right.
This is for mature audiences only. Ryan, you okay?
Good over here.
You good? Ryan good back there. I love it.
Yes.
I got people inboxing me like, when's she coming back? She busy, y'all. She making films and lives in Hollywood. She don't have time for this. And she's definitely not going to aroma
wait a
shame.
minute. Shaka Strong says,
what did he say?
It's interesting rappers are spitting lyrics about how long they in that box.
Yeah, okay.
For a quickie.
Yeah, okay. But in case you don't know, the stat on that is 40%, and this is all men, and it's higher for black men. So statistically, 40% of black men over 40 have ED or some form of it. Not 15.
That's crazy.
Not 17. Not 25.
Well,
40.
You talked about this earlier, though. That's because we have lots of heart disease. And, of course, if your blood is not flowing, it ain't going to flow down there neither.
And so here's what I tell men, because I do have men that come to me off the record, and they talk about the fact that they have ED. And I tell them that ED is the least of your worries.
Right.
Because ED is the sign that the heart attack is next. And we don't see it in that context. It literally is your body. So when your extremities, your feet, it's the same reason why you have to get amputate extremities with diabetes. And also when your extremities start to go, right, your inner organs are suffering and you don't know it. It is a warning sign. So although we don't want you dealing with ED, there are bigger issues coming. It is the forecast of a heart attack, a stroke, an aneurysm, so on and so on. So you really want to deal with that.
Yeah.
So,
and it's always good when you try to tackle problems naturally, because whenever you do the unnatural route, there's always some kind of it's almost like when you make a deal with the devil, like there's always some kind of backlash. So if you're suffering from ED, you want to do the cheat code and, get the pills. I mean, I've been with someone who's taking those pills. It's like being in a fight with Muhammad Ali, where it's just like, dang, I just can't move myself. And then it just puts you in the opposite. so go the natural route.
Like, I don't like, bro, I don't want that neither, sir. Like, go home. Go home. Because you out here, you Muhammad Ali for a moment and you want to knock me out. Screw that.
Not for a moment, 4 hours.
Whatever in your life, meaning. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't do that shit all the time. Now you got your Muhammad Ali cape on. You want to come and look at me.
Woo!
Get out of here with that boy.
Ron,
Get
Ron,
out.
I am done today. Do you hear me? From aroma shaming to being in a fight with Muhammad Ali. Jasmine, you have made my week. I am done. Like, Black History Month is over. It is officially done.
We're having a good time. I'm loving
Oh my
it.
God.
All vegan conversations should be like this one.
This is all plant-based conversation. You all need to get in here, and she is dropping jewels. Like, you don't do stand-up too, do you?
I do not.
Okay, all right. Or at least you haven't formally started. Today
Well,
was
you know she's in film.
She is.
She's talented.
Every bit of that. So, erectile dysfunction. You also tackle, is veganism soft, right? Like this whole tie to masculinity, and we have the show that comes after us. We have two great hosts.
That guy was fine.
I said what I said, and Toussaint always brings up this, his quote. But can you whoop my ass though?
He does all day
in society, and it deals with it's a deep issue. But you talk about this whole masculinity equating to meat, and then eating vegetables being equated to some type of feminine energy. And then you talk about what you really see as masculinity in a man. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Well, just the things that we associate with masculinity, especially in our community, because, in the Black community, being a real man is a big thing. Yeah. And we will look at someone who's eating healthy, or we'll look at a man who's dating another man and go like, oh, he's not a real man. And then dap up the guy who's beating his girlfriend or not taking care of his kids. Yeah. Where I'm just like, wait, the real definition of non-masculinity are those men. It has nothing to do with what you eat. And we need to be saying that, like, being a man, I feel like men are physically stronger for the most part. So when I think of men, I think of like, you should be the protectors. Like, you should be the ones that are helping, uplift us, uphold us, protect us. That's what being a man is about. Yeah. And if you're, if you have a family and you're promoting like unhealthy ways that's going to send your kid to the ER at 40 instead of helping them live a long life till 100, then it's like, are you really, stepping into that protector role, that that father role that you could step into?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that, because there is this, and it's used in food commercials, right? Where's the meat? Be a man, get a burger. The big sandwich with all the cheese dripping off. And because even in my own story, I relate to that personally. I was 29, but I was 284 pounds and couldn't walk up 2 flights of stairs without being winded, right? But I was eating the double Whopper, bacon, cheese, hot sauce. It was the bacon ranch Whopper. Was like my joint.
That's your thing,
man. And but
couldn't get up no stairs though.
The messages that they send out, right? There's this juxtaposition of your masculinity with what you eat, and then if you double back to the erectile dysfunction conversation, one of the very things that you consider to be a part of your masculinity, the food you're eating strips it away from
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
And so how do you deal with that? And then it's 40 to 50% of men, and we don't even talk about it, right?
And I like to say, my fiance Dre always says, when he shakes Sadeek's hands, he was like, that is strong as hell. He always say Sadeek is like strong as an ox.
Yeah. Well, he ain't no lightweight brother.
Right. And right. And
Right.
he ain't either.
Like real talk.
No, not at all. So, right. And you've been what? Plant-based.
20 plus.
20 plus years.
Yeah, I'm going into my 21st year being plant-based. And I love it. I love it.
With the humble brag. I love it.
So,
and you came on, Jazz, I've been a vegan for 20 years. I'm
Jasmine,
so
Jasmine, don't let her drag you into that. Don't let her drag you into that. We do this every week. So, and I just want to shout out some people that you put in there, because you got a brother who's an artist. I think it's Stick. You know, and I don't want to.
Yeah, from Dead Press.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So he shouts out the fact in the whole masculinity thing that he actually gained weight, or he did an experiment, right, to show that you could gain weight on plants. He went from 167 to 87. You give is a section where David Carter, who's an NFL offensive lineman, proudly says that he's a 300-pound vegan, but this guy is so agile. Right, at 300 pounds. And then I love how you bring it back to John Sally. And this is my shout out to Gino from the Bigs, right? John Sally talks about his back pain, his joints being better, like actually going away once he embraced the plant-based diet. And so these stereotypes of, but we have 300-pound linemen, we got championship basketball players, we got artists, you know what I'm saying? Men who are seen as definitely masculine, doing this plant-based thing. So really appreciate you for putting that in the documentary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think a lot of people needed to see it. For me, it almost feels like, you know, we should be past the point where it needs to be shown that way, but I accept that we're not. And because at the end of the day, food shouldn't be gendered. And even when people say that a certain diet is feminine, it's funny because a lot of women will even back that. And I'm like, you do realize that they're saying there's something wrong with being more like a woman. There's nothing wrong. If a guy does have feminine energy, there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. That means, okay, he's a man, but he can also relate to me on certain fronts, and we can connect on that frequency as well. There's nothing shameful about that at all.
No.
So
not at all.
I love it.
Real quick, can I ask this before
Absolutely.
we right? Because we're ending the segment. I want to know, what is next for you? So I know for all of us, we're always on a journey. We're always evolving, and kind of one of the good brother that I know, Willie Lynch Jr. He's a comedian out there, but he's electric. How do you feel about with alkaline or electric diets, and is that like another even level within the vegan lifestyle?
So for me, I'm actually about to do another project on disordered eating. And I picked this project because since I advocate for vegan diets, what I've seen in the vegan world is a lot of people, they'll start with veganism, but then it's just like, okay, now I have to be gluten-free. Now I have to be sugar-free. Now I have to be alkaline. Now I have to cut out carbs. And I think that can lead to a very obsessive way of eating. So me, I eat plant-based, but that's my cutoff right there. I'm just like, you know what? I've already cut off a lot in the food group. I don't want to get obsessive about it. I still want to be able to enjoy myself. I'm feeling fine. So I'm kind of parked where I am and making small improvements as I go. Like, oh, okay, I learned an even healthier way to make spaghetti. Great, I'll do this. But yeah, I'm not adding on anything else.
Yeah,
personally.
I got you. This guy to my left, he's one of those people. It's great. No, let me stop.
No, that's not true.
He about to, right. I'm just playing.
Not do that.
I'm just playing.
Because you have people out there, he really does?
No. Right now, you oilless, though. Sadeek, definitely, you you do a new challenge every year. And it's awesome. It's commendable. It's an amazing thing. You're always showcasing, like, what else can we do? How can we be better? What can be on that journey and stuff. So right now, you're doing oilless.
I am oilless right now. So, giving it a shot. It's difficult. I definitely, I called Cassie this morning and said I had an interesting phone call. So I ate some oil last night, y'all. So I'm balanced.
I know. Listen, he was like, oh my God. I was like, are you kidding me? You are a whole vegan, sir. That's not easy within itself. I ate Well, yesterday.
So
on a vegan, like it's not like he went all the way back and he broke down and ate some fish.
Ron.
Dr. Ron, right?
So Jasmine, look, I have, and I'm notorious for this, right? But I'm excited. I had 2 more points that I wanted to cover, and I know that you said you could give us to 1:30. Can we do the break? Can you come back for 5 more minutes? And wrap up. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go to break. I got, because you talk about this lifestyle as being political, and so I want to talk a little bit about that because I think it's important with food deserts and that type of thing. And then I kind of want to wrap up with something Dr. Mills said that you brought out in the documentary. So we're going to take this break. We need you to like,
comment,
and share
that thing
right now. Bring some more people in here. We are talking to Jasmine Leyva. You didn't get with me that time.
Sorry.
Jasmine.
Go to break, Sadeek.
We'll see you on the other side.
WIFTV-PM. Parenting in a Pandemic, powered by the Chicagoland Mom Squad, hosted by me, Tennille Jackson. Today's guest will be Beulah McLeod. It's not 2021 that this is getting fixed. Focus on your child and let's figure out what's going to work individually for you, but respect that people are making for them and don't shame them for them.
Everybody makes different choices for different reasons, and you don't know what somebody's situation is. And equity is not giving everybody the same thing. Equity is giving everybody what he or she needs to be successful. If you want to do remote should be high quality. If you want to come back, it should be high quality. It's not necessarily about the mode of delivery. It's about what is the quality level of any of those particular modes. We have to have empathy. Right now, I can see the teachers' argument. A lot of them are scared. I get that, right? I get the parents' argument. Everybody experiences that level of, I don't know how to help my baby with this thing. So parents are frustrated. We got to just try to see each other's perspective, and I don't think we do enough of that. I think we get locked into our own viewpoint. This is what I think, and that's just it, and that's why we can never get to a solution. We need options, because everything is not going to be good for everybody.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
So this kind of music, we feed off of your vibe. So if you're feeling the music, we're going to feed off you guys, okay? All right? Yeah, you can start dancing. So please enjoy, all right?
Welcome back to the green side. Welcome back. Sadeek.
And Cassiopeia.
And we are talking to Jasmine Leyva, who is the producer, director, and main talent in The Invisible Vegan. So I got an extreme talking to over the break. I have to be quick with my questions because, so to make sure, and we want to make sure that we get Jasmine out in a reasonable time. She's got a lot to do. So want to say thank you.
Thank you.
You talk about, you have a section that says stay woke, right? And a healthy body is a political statement. And I thought that was so profound. We talk about this. Sometimes people take offense to the vegan message, right? Because it seems colonial, especially coming from white people. We didn't dig into that. But we talk about this political statement. No health food stores in the community. We talk about food deserts. And so would you speak a little to that and how you feel about it? Because I felt a very strong spirit in the documentary, and was really grateful that you even brought it up.
I just feel like if you live in a country where you complain about, the police and the government trying to kill you, don't help them. If it's you see that there's a system in place to keep us down, then what you don't want to do is feed into that system. You want to start breaking the system, and in order to break the system, you have to start. We got to armor up, and armoring up means educating yourself, and armoring up means making sure that you are healthy so that you're not lethargic and you're not sleepy and you don't need naps all the time, but you're healthy enough to be able to think about these issues. And even the kind of decisions that you make, when you pick the food that's on your plate. Before, I didn't know that, certain ways of eating contribute to climate change. I didn't know that I was contributing to the kind of environmental racism that puts animal factory farms in low-income communities of color. So once I start becoming aware of that stuff, a lot of people, they'll just kind of, turn their head the other way, like, oh, I like this burger. But again, you can't have that mentality and then scream Black Lives Matter. Like,
Come on.
It's a contradiction.
Yep.
Wow, I love it. I love
Absolutely.
it. So that's a great segue, because I want to end talking about the reason that there is a food shortage, right? Dr. Mills brings it up when he talks about, and there's a formula connected to this. But before I state the formula and we end the interview, when you were talking about, I thought this was powerful inside of the political piece, talks about urban agriculture as a weapon. I just thought that was hot. You had the brothers in there, so you leaned on your network, in particular, the brother who is listed as Soyful. But you talked about his lettuce game, right? So I kind of loved that in the documentary, but you were engaged at the time. Are you married now?
No, you know what? Me and my man, we just decided, because, he proposed to me because it was the thing to do. We talked about it, and I'm just like, I don't really care about marriage like that. So we were kicking it.
Nice.
Okay. I love that. I love that. So I've got about 6 messages I got to return after this. So I'll do that because my inbox. So Ryan, you got your answer, okay? That's our producer, right now. So Ryan was like, so your plant-based game is strong. Like the brothers' lettuce game was strong. Your plant-based game is like serious. So I want to wrap up on this because you talk about animal rights and human rights intersect, right? And that's the point where you were talking about the farms and them being, that's a whole nother documentary, right? The fact that it affects low-income people of color, black people in particular. But Dr. Mills says that we grow enough food, because they tell the people on the planet, right, that there's a food shortage, but we grow enough food to feed every human being on the planet several times over. So you bring that out in the documentary. I want to bring it out to our audience. There is no shortage of food. What happens is we take the food, and instead of feeding it directly to humans, we turn around and feed it to animals. And that creates the food scarcity. And then he gives us an equation. He says it takes 13 pounds of feed, if you're feeding a cow, to amass 1 pound of tissue. And then I took it a little further, which is that the average American eats 222 pounds of red meat, or chicken or poultry. You could slide yourself in there, because people are like, I don't eat red meat. 22 pounds of red meat per year. And if you multiply that by 13, you have removed 3,000 pounds of vegetables or grains from the food supply by yourself. And so I just thought it was very powerful for you to bring that out, that there is no food shortage. We're feeding the food to animals to then turn around and eat the animals.
Yeah.
So, Jasmine, so
priorities.
Priorities, right? So tell us where we can find you, what the audience, how they can get in touch with you, follow you, what can they do in order to just see what you're up to.
Absolutely. I'm on, all the usual places. I have a Facebook, Instagram. I'm on TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok. Same thing with Twitter. It's like I'm on Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter. And I have a Patreon account for people if you want to financially support. And yeah, and on those sites, I usually post kind of like what I'm working on next.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. We'll be in contact because hopefully we can get you to come back. We just wrapped up our interview with Jasmine Leyva. She is the producer and director of The Invisible Vegan. Fabulous documentary. You got to go check it out.
Thank you. It was amazing. Please watch
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you very much. You have an awesome day.
A good one. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Super powerful. I love it. Everybody go watch that documentary right now. It's entertaining. It's culturally relevant. And, of course, it's really good information to help you start thinking about becoming plant-based and then hit up the plant-based African.
Absolutely. We got to do it. We got to do it, man. I'm so excited. Like, she's just out there on the front lines using what she has, which is her talent, to talk about issues that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what we got next?
We
Cassie?
got the
We're moving along.
Business presented by theblackmall.com.
I love it.
And we're super excited because we are bringing up my good soror right now. Soror Barbara Keaton. That's her author name.
Barbara Keaton.
And she has an amazing book out that y'all are going to love called Nights Over Egypt. Ashelon is a professor of Egyptology at Cairo University. He is none too happy to learn that another American is coming to his country to dig among the ruins of his ancestors. All right. But Nights Over Egypt is a story of archaeological digs, rich culture, and buried passion. It is a romance novel. Welcome to the stage, my good Soror Barbara. How are you?
I am fantastic. Fantabulous. How are you?
Oh, we are amazing. Thank you.
Change your bottom.
Change the bottom. Right? Okay, because we got to give you.
Hey, Barbara, it's great to have you.
Thank you, Brother Sadeek. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well.
Very good.
So tell us, you have this amazing book called Nights Over Egypt. Here, the green side, led by the plant-based African. You have a romance novel that is placed within Africa, within Egypt. Some also know as Kemet, and it's this nice heated, book that I can't wait to read. But tell us more, and why is this book important? Tell us what it's about and why it's important.
Let me start off with, I have been writing since I can remember. I've always created stories. I was taught in a Catholic school, but I was taught by the oldest known order of Black nuns, the Oblate Sisters of Providence. And these women really believed in the education of Black children. And so in teaching me, we read a lot, we wrote a lot. And I loved it. And then my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, who's been gone from the earth for a long time, but his spirit still lives within me, gave me the respect of the written word. And so I love to read. And 20 years ago more, I wrote my first romance, All I Ask. And then I just kept going. And over the years, I should write more than I do. Mm-hmm. But I had my own love story kind of in between, a couple of books. And so then let's move up to Nights Over Egypt. So Nights Over Egypt came out
Wait a minute. Hold on. Sorry. He said I have my own little love story between them. But
that's where I wanted to stop. Right. Right.
You thought you was going to be able to just
skip right over. Right.
Y'all saw that wasn't a segue. That was a skill.
Is real quick, is any of that, did you kind of throw a little of that into your book?
No, because I don't want people to look at my husband any other way than the reverence in which they give my minister husband.
You got that right.
Well, time out. I'm already looking at him like that because you ain't just writing no book. And I know you, bless his heart.
Well, I'm not saying necessarily put it that it's that the people know it's y'all, but you know, some of the situations.
We already clear. You can't say it on air, but go ahead, brother, brother preacher.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Keep I do too. That was good. That was good. You got me, brother Sadeek. I like it.
My man.
So, Nights Over Egypt was born out of. I am a big fan of PBS. I grew up on the host. It's the Sesame Street. It's the BBC, the British comedy. And I fell in love with Dr. Zawi Hawass. I mean, this brother would come on and he would be talking about the digs in Egypt, and he was super knowledgeable. He was the general counsel over the Supreme Council of Antiquity. I mean, this dude is smart.
Yeah.
But, and watching it one evening, I looked, I said, wait a minute. Egypt's in Africa. Where the black folks?
Come on.
The black folks.
Right. Talk to us. Talk to us.
And I'm sitting there going, I know there's got to be some black archaeologists somewhere.
Yes.
And as a romance writer, we create, or even as a writer, you create what you want to see. And so Nights Over Egypt literally came about because I was watching PBS and there was nobody that looked like me on an archaeological dig.
Yeah.
Digging up Egyptians who are African. Did I say that? And so then also, the Jones Girls is a favorite. So, if you ever hear the song Nights Over Egypt.
Yes.
So you put it all together, and I have a black female archaeologist. She speaks several languages. She reads hieroglyphics. She's a PhD in Egyptology and archaeology. And she's going on an archaeological dig. And if you know anything about archaeology, going on a dig is almost like the pinnacle of what you would do as a professor in unearthing antiquities. And so when I wrote it, and some of it is still true to this day, when I wrote Nights Over Egypt, there was a moratorium on digs in Egypt. Because what the council was finding is that the antiquities were leaving, but were not coming back.
All
up
in them European museums. But go ahead and people's
homes. Nefertiti is still in Germany.
Wow.
But Ramses, the two was found. His mummified remains were found in a museum in St. Louis, and they went ahead and returned Ramses to Egyptian soil. So the moratorium still exists on several portions of Egypt and among their ruins.
That's deep, man. I mean, I love the fact that you chose to, write about something that we need to see. And then also have it, intertwined into romance, because we all love, right? We all want to see what you got to say, Sadeek.
But we don't see enough black love.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely black love. Everything black except your teeth. Barbara, listen. Are you a storyteller as well?
Well, duh.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like professionally. Are you a storyteller?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not a Van Couture. No, I'm not. But I do tell a good story now.
Well, I was getting ready to say, you need to, because I want you to read the book over the air, and between your voice and the way you were telling this story, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, I want to know what's going on, but I want you to read it to me.
Ooh.
It is hot the way you are describing. I'm all in.
I like that.
I'm going to get the book, but man, I need you to come read this.
Well, actually, I have Barbara back on Facebook Live tomorrow at noon for Buy Black Friday. And where we, push to purchase black, and we showcase a black vendor business. So you should do that for a portion of it. Would you be okay with reading a portion of it?
I will read a portion of it.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Slow down.
Uh-oh.
Is the book right there in front of you?
All right.
It's not far. It's not far here.
Come on, give me a sentence or two. Come on, when they get in the dig and in that closet somewhere with their PhDs and get to. Come on now, let's see these black. Ryan, don't you want to hear a little bit, huh? What happened at the dig? I'm digging, right? All of that.
You don't have to go off screen to go.
Oh, that's all right. That's
okay.
all right.
We'll talk people through it. Go get it.
Yeah. We'll talk. We see all your pretty elephants and whatnot going on.
You better know it. She got 22 of them too.
Okay. Look, let's do this.
What you got? What you got to say?
I don't have anything to say. First of all, I'm gonna call my ship after this is over.
Because you love to tell us there's a sigma in between every delta face.
No, I just said it adds value.
Last time I checked, 1913.
That's fine.
Right. Say it again. Come on, Sora. Say it again.
Hey, I got the whole financial plug. Come on, Barbara, back in here with that book now. You're supposed to be looking for a book. You're supposed to be looking for a book.
Yes.
There we go.
See? Let's. You know what? I think what I like is when they first met.
Oh, I love it. Whatever you like, I love it. Come on, read that.
That's where the sparks fly.
There we go.
Right. And before this, she's not happy that he has to oversee the dig, that he has to supervise the dig. But she's never met him. She doesn't know him. She's going to Egypt from America. And so they both have this idea of how the other's going to look. She's thinking some old dude, speckles, some old, of course his skin's gonna be weathered, but and he thinking some white woman because what did I say earlier?
Yeah,
ain't no black women, right?
Ain't no black women.
Ooh. And then they meet up with this coffee.
And then they meet up, and he had gone to the airport actually earlier in the story just to people watching to see if he could kind of see her.
Okay.
So when he ran, right. So when he
I'm excited.
Yeah. So this is.
You need to write a plant-based novel because you're gonna make me go home and eat some carrots.
What?
Man.
Yeah, she got it. Don't
Cassie,
worry.
Girl, where you find him? Where you find him at Sora? Hilarious.
This is my big brother. He crazy, man.
Oh, we love it. All right.
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
Karina was embroiled in a conversation with a fellow Black American, Eric Tate, a visiting professor of history at American University of Cairo, Department of Humanities, when a man, skin the color of burnt bronze and eyes a shade of opulent cognac, entered the room. She nearly choked on a sip of sweet wine she hadn't yet swallowed as she took in she took in what she thought was the most gorgeous man she'd ever laid eyes on. Dressed in black, his dark hair rested in abundant curls about his shoulders. She watched the stranger pause to speak to several people before his eyes met hers. She had never seen a brother so damn fine.
Come on now.
Her back stiffened as he made his way to where she stood. Karina couldn't turn her eyes from him. This is where I lose. Ashelon has made his grand entrance. Eric sighed. That's Professor Ashelon El-Assaf. Karina's brown doe eyes became large. The one and only? You haven't met him? Karina could only shake her head no, as she watched Ashelon stroll leisurely across the room, heading to where he stood next to Eric. As he neared, she thought there was something familiar about him, as if she had seen him somewhere before, but she couldn't place it. Besides, she reasoned, the more she thought about it, she knew the more it would bother her, so she opted to let the thought go for the moment and focus on the handsome man who had come to stand mere feet from her. He held out his right hand. I must say, you are not who I was expecting, Ashelon stated, then took Karina's hand in his and kissed the back of it. Welcome to Egypt.
Look, let me tell you something, and I'm glad you did not, because I'm imagining the next line is Karina with her brown eyes reached back into her memory and realized that this gentleman reminded her of Sadeek. Oh, it don't go like that? My bad.
No.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Cassie.
It was
You kind of like.
It was a hard boom crash.
It was a hard crash?
You kind of
like.
like.
Hard crash, Cassie? That's where we are?
Yeah, you kind of like Eric Tate. You just lost that.
Oh, okay.
You my brother.
No, real
so
talk. Barbara, first of all,
it was
thank
a
you.
match.
Thank you for going with the moment and being spontaneous. That was awesome.
Yes, that was. And I know we got to get up out of here. So I just want to let everybody know that you guys could go get Nights Over Egypt on Amazon.com. You can also get it at Barnes & Noble. I connected my good, beautiful Sora Barbara Keaton into the comments. So please go and check her out. Is there anything else that you want to let people know before we go?
Yeah, we got to, I'm going to get on my soapbox for 5 seconds here. We have got to begin to change the narrative. We are so much more than these reality shows, the bitches and hoes. We are loving, multidimensional, multicultural Black people. We love. And there's no such thing as Black people don't love. I love, my first love was a Black man.
Come on.
And the man I'm married to is a Black man.
Come on.
And I will continue to create Black romance, Black love, because I celebrate it each and every day.
Well, we can't wait. We're going to get some more with her tomorrow on By Black Friday, Follow the Black Mom. So we thank you so much for being with us today, Barbara.
Thank
you, Barbara.
Take care.
Much love, much peace.
All right now. Be blessed, both of you.
Shout out to that Black husband, the pastor. We know you in the book, brother. Don't worry about it. She did the whole protect the innocent. But I can't wait to read it. I'm going to be like, Pastor, do that? You know the pastor did it.
Okay, with you.
That's how all them church children get here.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Eight and counting and stuff.
Absolutely.
Pastor, get it in, okay?
Absolutely. So look. What a show.
Amazing show today.
I mean, that was great. I loved it. I appreciate it. We love all of you that stuck with us, the viewing audience. We know you all are getting ready. Stay with What's in It For.
Yes.
The Black People Media. We have I Said What I Said with Herb and Two coming up. They are like...
Listen, speaking of, I'm sorry.
Dynamic.
While digging through the rubble, Keisha decides she also needs a digging.
That's Two right said that. And then he said, you missed the one where he said Keisha found out she was from 79. Oh, no, that's my book. So, first of all, it's just a pleasure to have them watching the show.
I love it.
You get what I'm saying? Yes. So we got to get out of here. Ron is throwing us out. And so from the green side of things, Brother Sadeek.
And Cassiopeia.
We love you. We'll see you. Have a great weekend. Peace.
WIFT